everyone, and welcome to Season 1, Episode number 48 of Pro Wrestling's Top 50. I'm your host, Travis McNeil, and today we continue our countdown of the top 50 matches of 2020 with match number 3 on our list, which is the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match between the champion, Will Ospreay, and the challenger, Hiromu Takahashi, from the New Japan Wrestle Kingdom 14 Night 1 event held back on the 4th of January. Finally, a junior heavyweight match at Wrestle Kingdom felt worthy of a main event match. New Japan, they do a really good job with their junior heavyweight division. Normally that's spotlighted in the best of the Super Juniors. In the early 90s, you had some big time kind of Tokyo Dome junior heavyweight title defenses with Liger. But since Wrestle Kingdom kind of came to fruition, you really haven't had that junior match at the top of the card that's really felt like it could hold a candle to the heavyweight title matches. And finally this happened with this bout, and it made me so happy. When Wrestle Kingdom happened, I did not think this was the best match of the two-night event. I was really pleasantly surprised to see that it actually, came out on top for the Wrestle Kingdom matches when I did this countdown. This match was great at the time, but it blew me away watching it again for this project. Hiromu, returned from a broken neck at Power Struggle. Will Ospreay, almost kind of arrogantly, kind of declared that he had no challengers left, that he had conquered the junior heavyweight division. It seemed like it was impending that he was going to move up to the heavyweight division. He'd already tested those waters a little bit, being the never openweight champion for a little bit and competing in the G1 in 2019. He had one more challenger in his way, though, the returning Hiromu. Ospreay really smartly here, he's a babyface, the crowd loves him, but there was no way he was going to get cheered over Takahashi here. So he kind of subtly plays the heel at the start. He does the old, Shawn Michaels hammock spot in the corner, does some paint brushes and things like that to Hiromu. Just small little signs of disrespect, basically saying, you've been away for a year and a half. I rule the roost here in the junior division. You cannot take this title away from me. They do some really good early testing of Hiromu's neck. Ospreay hits, kind of like a draping DDT at one point. He puts a couple submission holds on there, and that's kind of the story of, is Hiromu's neck going to hold up, for him to be able to wrestle the title away from Ospreay. They do one of the most jaw-dropping spot sequences I've ever seen in this match. If you've seen this match, you know what I'm referring to. Ospreay goes for a space flying tiger drop. When he's coming over the ropes with the moonsault, Hiromu takes a step back, grabs him in a waist lock on the landing, tries a German suplex onto the ramp. Ospreay lands on his feet, charges at Hiromu, who does, his overhead belly to belly, which is one of his signatures, but goes for it into the ropes. Ospreay dives through the ropes into a somersault, back into the ring, and then comes back over with the space flying tiger drop. It was absolutely insane. It was so well executed. The timing it took to pull that off is amazing, and it just shows how good these two are. It is one of the most gorgeous spot sequences I've ever seen. They really start to go full bore on Hiromu's neck. Ospreay hits a double stomp while Hiromu's kind of crouched on the apron right to the neck. He tries, to go for the hidden blade, but because, Ospreay is a face, he shows remorse, right? So the year before at Wrestle Kingdom, the hidden blade was debuted. It knocked Ibushi out, a little bit of controversy surrounding the move, it being too reckless from there. So Ospreay, he pulls the elbow pad down, he's going to go for it, but he shows that remorse and he can't hit it on a man that's coming back from a broken neck, especially after the state it left Ibushi in 1 year prior. Ospreay does, however, decide that he's going to take Hiromu up top. He's been using kind of like a top rope assault driver, which is an old, Sick Nick Mondo move. So he goes for that. Hiromu counters it into an avalanche victory roll that was nuts. And from there, they just go into Near Fall City with super hot near falls with big, crazy moves. Ospreay hits a shooting star press for 2, an Oz cutter for 2. He hits like a pump handle variation on the Storm Cradle driver. which again, Ospreay is, you know, he's like us, right? He grew up watching early 2000s indie wrestling, right? So all of these crazy moves that people were doing at the time that have kind of been retired since then, he's bringing it back. You know, he's a madman with that stuff. And Hiromu taking a move like that, it's just absolutely nuts. When nothing works, Ospreay decides all bets are off. He goes for the hidden blade. No remorse shown on this point, but Hiromu's able to counter it into a pop-up powerbomb. They just go counter city to, you know, Ospreay, or Hiromu goes for a lariat. Ospreay, you know, kind of backflips out of it, goes for a Liger bomb, but Hiromu turns that into a Canadian destroyer. It was all just nuts. They do an unreal counter sequence, you know, with them countering in and out of the time bomb and the Stormbreaker. It eventually leads to Ospreay finally hitting the hidden blade, and you feel like this is going to be all she wrote for Hiromu. He goes for the Stormbreaker, and at this point, everything Hiromu's tried has not worked. Ospreay knows what he's bringing to the table. So Takahashi goes deep into the bag of tricks and counters the Stormbreaker into a Code Red. Will Ospreay is mentioned, you know, basically what I just talked about, early 2000s indies, right? Amazing Red, you know, was one of Ospreay's heroes. They've teamed together, they've competed against each other now. So what does Hiromu do? He counters the Stormbreaker into a Code Red, catches Ospreay completely off guard. It allows him to hit a lariat, finally hit the time bomb. He only got 2 off of it. So again, he has to go to something new, and he debuts the time bomb 2, basically the leg capture time bomb, drops Ospreay on his head, puts him away for the 3. Crowd loses their minds. Hiromu, in his return singles match on the grandest stage of them all at Wrestle Kingdom, captures the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship in one of the absolute best matches of 2020, one of the best junior heavyweight matches ever held in New Japan. And this match accomplished 2 things. One, it was the send-off that Ospreay needed to launch him fully into the heavyweight division. And 2, it showed that if given the time and the positioning on the card, the junior heavyweights are fully capable of performing to an absolute main event standard that Wrestle Kingdom commands. The following year, you know, spoiler for 2021 if you haven't seen it, but Hiromu does it again with another unbelievable match with Taiji Ishimori, and following that contest, Hiromu has vowed that in 2022, he will main event Wrestle Kingdom, which if it stays as another 2-night event, I don't know if that means that, you know, the junior heavyweights are going to get a main event spot on one night, if that means that he's going to move up to heavyweight and challenge for the IWGP heavyweight title. I don't know what is in store, but I am incredibly, incredibly excited for it. This match is phenomenal. It's, of course, available on New Japan World. You can follow me here on YouTube, and please follow on Instagram and Twitter as well at Wrestling50, and join me again tomorrow as we continue to count down Pro Wrestling's Top 50.